Hi, Marcus here from Gap Consulting. This is a video that we've chosen to make for you guys in order to assist you in making your own personal interview video. It's a part of the requirements, and why it's being done is so that the employer on the other side in America can look at a video of you and from there on decide whether they'd like to employ you or not. What we want to do is go through a couple of brief things with you so that you know on how to make this video successfully first time around. Point number one is going to be thinking like the employer. Obviously, they're going to be looking at a video of you, so what we want you to do is look at your own video when you're done and decide whether you would have employed yourself based on that representation of yourself during that time. Alright, so it's a good thing to think about when you're going to be going through all of these checklists and make a successful video. Point number two is going to be to look presentable. You don't want to be wearing a hat, you don't want to be wearing sunglasses in this instance. And then also, even if it's prescription glasses, that's 100% fine. But also you want to make sure that you're looking neat during this interview. Don't be wearing a dirty shirt or anything. Make sure you've got a presentable shirt on, maybe perhaps a button-up shirt or a golf shirt. And then also your environment and the rest of you looks presentable during this time. Alright, and point number three is going to be your environment that you're recording in. What we've seen works very well is people that are recording in their truck cabs. The truck cab at least already has a black or neutral background at the back, and you have your light coming in from the front through the windscreen. This is the ideal situation, whether you're doing it in a truck cab or maybe even perhaps at home. Make sure the light's never coming from behind you. That's going to affect your visual representation. Make sure the light's always coming from the front so that you are highlighted and so that everything looks good. Second thing is on that is sound. Make sure it's not a noisy environment. Make sure you can be heard clearly throughout the whole video. If there's an incident that there's a noisy sound coming in, either from a truck or something happens at home, make sure to just redo that section for us and then send us the final copy. Point number four is going to be to make notes. You want to communicate in a span of only 90 to about 100 seconds. You want to be able to represent yourself effectively. Make notes during this time so that you can either, if you're going to read them off of a handbook like this, which will be acceptable, or if you're going to memorize them, make sure that your notes are accurate to the point so that you don't end up running on a bunny trail or you're not sharing your complete whole story that the employer wants to hear from you. Lastly is on what to share. This is the most critical part. One of the first things you want to share is your basic personal information. This is regards to your name, if you want to make mention of your age, even though that will be in your CV, where you live, whether you've got a family, which always adds a personal element, and your passions in life, and make sure that contains driving, obviously, because you're applying for a driver position for long term in the United States. You can also make mention of your health, especially if you're more older in age. Make mention if you're going to say I'm a 50-year-old, but I'm good and strong in health, so that comes across confidently. Second thing you want to share on is going to be your experience as a driver specifically here. You want to make sure that you are communicating with them how many years experience you have as a driver and in what you've done as a job description. So go into what you've driven. If you're going to share, I've driven extra heavy vehicles with interlinked trailers. This includes flatbeds or tankers, whatever your experience might be. And also describe your administration. I do my pre-delivery inspections, I do my administration on time and on point, and I make sure that those are accurate. When you're describing your job description like this, they will have confidence in your ability as a driver, not just in driving, but in all the other assets that goes with as a driver. Point number three is going to be very briefly to say why you're interested. And make sure these are positive points on your family perhaps. Maybe you're looking to build your experience or you're looking to change your life in America. But do not make mention of anything negative by maybe saying anything about South Africa or the current situations we have here. Make sure you keep the whole video from beginning to end a positive outlook. And then lastly is to thank them briefly, just to say thank you for this opportunity and taking the time to look at my video. And those are your basic guidelines on how to make an interview. Alright, and this is going to be your example of what that video would look like. Again, I've got my notebook ready of the notes I've made. And you're going to start by greeting them. Hi, good day, my name is Marcus. I'm a 29-year-old male. I'm married. I live in Gauteng, South Africa. I am a truck driver and it's one of my passions. I've got 5 years experience in heavy-duty truck driving, which includes interlinks. My job descriptions includes anything from administration to pre-inspection deliveries. I make sure that my product is delivered on time. I make sure of effective communication from point A to point Z. Reason why I'm interested for me is because of family reasons. I would love to raise my family in the United States where I can provide a decent living for them and also a decent future. And I just want to take this opportunity to also thank you for taking the time to look at my interview and at my video. Thank you very much.